Subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the latest tech videos.
Hey, what's up YouTube, this is Vasi here, and today in this video I'm going to tell you about my experience on how I got a band 7 in my first IELTS test with 10 days preparation. So let's begin the video. Before I begin the video, if you haven't watched my previous video of IELTS, like how you can apply for the IELTS test or how you can pay the IELTS fee online, then I will put those videos link in this video description just below the like button. So if you are interested in them, you can also watch those videos. So I gave my first IELTS test I think last month, and I only had 10 days of preparation. So the first tip that I would give you, that if you know that whenever you're going to apply for the IELTS test, then you should book your test as early as possible. The reason is that whenever you book your IELTS test, then you have access to Roads to IELTS website, which is provided by IELTS. So basically this is a practice website provided by IELTS, so that you can practice on your IELTS test. So this will have all the 4 modules of your IELTS test, like listening, reading, writing and speaking, and it will have sample questions, exercise questions as well. Obviously you are not going to have the full features because you need to unlock them, but whenever you're going to book for your first IELTS or any IELTS test, then you will have access to this particular website, and this will help you a lot. As I wanted to give my test 10 days after, so I booked my test on the date and I had 10 days to prepare. So because I booked at the very first day, so I had the access to Roads to IELTS website, and there I practiced, because it's there are question papers by IELTS and they have some tips videos as well. So I highly recommend that if you know that on which date you're going to go for the test, then just book the test as early as possible, so that you get access to this website, which is for free for the one who have paid or booked the IELTS test. So that's tip that I used so that I can prepare myself. The second thing is that I didn't knew very much, because it was my first IELTS test. I didn't know what was in each module. So I googled and luckily I found an advertisement on Google. It was by IELTSadvantage.com. so I went over that website, and I'm really grateful that I opened that particular website. So the IELTSadvantage.com is free and it has some premium features as well, but you don't need to go to the premium features. If you want to pay, you can do so. So on that, they're going to have 5 videos, each video regarding each module, like listening, reading, speaking and writing, and each video is going to be around from 30 minutes to 1 hour long. So I highly recommend that you watch those 5 videos before you practice for your IELTS test. The reason is that in each video the teacher is going to cover each topic or each module. Like I didn't know what is going to happen in the listening test of IELTS, so he covered the listening test first. He told me what how many questions you're going to have, what type of questions you're going to have, what is the strategy to solve each kind of question, and so on. So those 5 videos are free and you can watch them, and I highly recommend, because I watched those 5 videos as well and they helped me a lot. And the person showed some tricks as well, and that particular IELTSadvantage.com has their YouTube channel as well. I will put both of those links in this video description. So that was the second resource that I used when I was preparing for my IELTS test. The third resource was I just googled some sample IELTS paper, but you shouldn't use any sample IELTS paper that come on the Google's website. You should go from you should download from the official websites like IDP, the British Council or the IELTS website, because these are the sample or papers that are according to the IELTS I would say roadmap. If you go with any other website, a fake website, then you're going to it won't be useful to download sample papers from a website that doesn't have the most legit content. So try to download sample papers from IDP, IELTS or the British Council's official websites. Now after that, the third resource, I would say that I use some apps for my learning and to train myself. So I'm currently an iOS user. I will put the screenshot right here on the screens. These are the apps that I used for practicing. So for the iOS, I use the listening app and the reading app. You cannot I tried the speaking app as well, but it wasn't worth it. So you can practice your listening skills and your reading skills through these two apps as well. Obviously these two apps are not from the official IELTS website, but they're going to help you a lot to improve and polish your skills. The third app is going to be the British Council's own app as well, and it's going to have some practice question papers as well, so definitely go for it. So I used these 3 to 4 particular resources, and from the YouTube I would say I mainly focus on 2 main channels. The first channel was IELTS Daily. I will put their channel link in the video description as well. So in this channel basically they're going to show you mock test of the speaking test. So you're going to get an idea what to expect from the speaking test, how you can score well in the speaking test, because in this particular channel they're going to show you candidates who got the highest score or the lowest score when they went for their IELTS speaking test. So it's going to help you a lot. And the second channel name is Fast Track IELTS. So they're going to be a woman who's going to be telling you in that particular channel, and she's going to give you some extraordinary tips and tricks to solve your IELTS paper in a fast way. Like I followed a lot of her tricks and tips, so I wasn't having a lot of trouble in my IELTS test. Just for example, in the reading test you got 3 questions and you have 60 minutes. So she told to spend 15 minutes on the first question, 20 minutes on the second question, and 35 minutes on the last question. And that trick really helped, because if you spend 20 minutes on the all 3 questions, then for the last question you're not going to have much time, because the last question is generally more difficult than the first 2. So I followed her trick of the timing, and I was able to score well on my reading test because I was able to complete my test on time. I saw other candidates as well, they were unable to complete their reading test on time because they didn't use these small tricks, etc. So I highly recommend you to watch her channel as well. She is going to cover all the modules as well, like speaking, reading, writing and listening. So for these are some of the resources that I used to practice for my IELTS test. Now I had 10 days, so I spent I would say my first 3 days on the listening practice. Obviously for listening I used the I used the listening app on my phone. Then I used IELTS on website which is roadtoielts.com, and then some sample papers as well. So in this way I practice for my listening test for 3 days continuously, because the listening test isn't very difficult as compared to the other 3. So you can score a lot on this, and this will majorly improve your IELTS overall score. After that, on the next 2 days I practiced my reading. Again I used the same 3 resources, some googling, some YouTube videos watching, etc. Then on the next 2 days I practiced my writing skills, and on the last day I practiced for the speaking test. Obviously you can change these number of days, as it was my experience on how I prepared for my IELTS test. For speaking, the best tip that I can give you is that you should speak in English with others as well, so that you can speak fluently. I'm not a fluent speaker myself, but anyways, due to YouTube I speak a lot, so that helped me. So I would recommend that you speak fluently with your brothers, sisters, or your father, etc. So or even your friends, so that you get better in the speaking when you're going to go for the speaking test. So these are some of the resources, and this is the timetable on how I practice for my IELTS test. Again, remember to, when you're going to have these 10 days, try to give the best you can to prepare for the IELTS test, because you're paying a lot of fee and you don't want to go from this process again to give another IELTS test. So try to give a lot of your time on this 10 days so that you get just clear this test and move on to your life. So hope this was useful video to you. This was the experience of mine on how I got a band 7 on my IELTS test. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Again, all the videos, channels and the website that I talked about will be in the video description just below the like button. You can access those materials from there. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and stay safe.